came out here to Toys R Us because they're going out of business. The entire franchise is. So it's only 30% off, but I imagine that it's already been well picked over. But I tried to get out here while there's still... Oh yes! We can join our holiday team because they'll definitely be here at Christmas. This one's not too badly picked over, so we'll probably still be able to see quite a bit. Everything's up to 30% off. I always remember coming into Toys R Us and it looking like this. Hopefully I get to come back in here a few times and this isn't my only trip into Toys R Us. But this is just catching it. Well, it's got its dignity intact. I had hoped to make it here once before the signage went up, but that didn't happen. I remember throughout like middle school and stuff, coming here to the Lego aisle and being super excited. And now they're closing, it's crazy. Now they're going out of business. What's that? So at this point I had to end up doing this little voiceover instead because the guy made me stop filming. So it's not exactly what I planned on, but I got some decent shots of the store anyway. I walked past some of those little cars that you probably drove around when you were a kid. And by the second time I ended up going, which there is some footage at the end, most of what you're seeing here is just completely abandoned. This is back in the baby area. And then I walked over by the Nerf guns and kind of around the back here where all of the bikes and skateboards and scooters and stuff were. And back here I actually found a cool little computer setup that I decided to get a quick video of just in case you ever worked there and you ever signed into one of these. Just thought that might be a little throwback for you and you might find that interesting. Up at the front, I quickly videotaped the iPad displays, and a little while after this, I was eventually kicked out of the store for filming, but I decided to continue filming as much as I could, considering that I would never get a chance to get the store completely stocked like this again. And you'll see in the videos following that I did not get nearly as much stuff because most of it has been picked over, and I was trying to be a little more inconspicuous with the video camera. I wanted to make sure that I got these little checkout registers here just because that's so iconic Toys R Us. Like there's a little giraffe, and here's outside the building that day. Well, I'm back at Toys R Us. This is the end of it. It closes in a few weeks, and I figured I'd come back for a few more minutes of footage because when I came here last time it was still pretty well put together. And well, Toys R Us is basically dead now, so this was potentially my last walkthrough at Toys R Us. I'll probably come back when I find out a definitive closing date just to walk through it one last. Figured I'd add this to my already being produced video on Toys R Us. So when I returned, it was 50 to 70% off, and as you can see here, not all of the lights were on. A lot of the shelves are crossed out or completely empty. Very, very picked over. There's still a couple weeks before this particular location closes, so I'll probably try to get back in there and get a few more shots of the store, but it was very empty and picked over by this point. So it's really kind of sad to see this part of my childhood go down. Here I'm kind of walking around with the phone at my waist, so that's why it's so shaky. I was trying to be as sneaky as possible so I wouldn't get thrown out and not get all the footage that I wanted. But anyway, back to what I was saying. It's just crazy seeing this part of my childhood kind of go away and disappear. Most people about my age, I'm currently 20, most people my age grew up in Toys R Us, so it's just interesting to see a lot of these stores closing. Toys R Us, Kmart, Sears, places like that are just closing constantly, and it's crazy. It's part of the retail apocalypse. It just blows my mind that some of these stores that are so iconic, specifically this one, where just about every kid has grown up going to Toys R Us, and parents buy Christmas gifts and birthday gifts here, and I spent so much time on the Lego aisle and the Nerf gun aisle and stuff. To see something like this close, it's just really shocking. And I kind of get what people are saying. It's not the same buying on Amazon, but it is the way of the future. So it's like seeing these big retail stores die out is kind of what inspired me to do this video and to do several of the videos on my channel, is purely for the fact that I want to document what things were like when you would go to giant stores like this to buy toys or furniture, whatever it may be, because in the future, there won't be stores like this, and people will be looking at this video saying, wow, what's the Toys R Us? And anyway, so here's just a few of the fixtures, and I thought I'd toss those in. And that kind of wraps up this quick little tour of Toys R Us. Of going back closer to the end and getting some absolute last minute Toys R Us footage.